Hi everyone, here I come up with another series of teaching, that is Know Your Heart. As a first class we see about basics of ECG. The objective of this class is at the end of the learning, the learner can recognize the normal rhythm of the heart as well as learn how to analyze the normal sinus rhythm. In this section I included ECG basics, how to analyze a rhythm and normal sinus rhythm. Here we see the normal conduction. Even you can see, look on this picture which shows SA node, that is sinoatrial node, which is the natural pacemaker of heart, which generate impulses. That impulses will be transferred to AV node, that is atrioventricular node, and bundle of his Purkinje fibers, that is the left bundle branches, and which will reach the Purkinje fibers. So this is the normal conduction pathway. The impulses will be start from sinoatrial node, that is SA node, then move on to the AV node. From AV node it will be conducted to bundle of His, then bundle branches and Purkinje fibers. We can see the impulse conduction and the relation with the electrocardiogram. So first the impulse is generated from the sinoatrial node. The sinoatrial node which generate the impulse, by the time the impulse will transfer to, or it covers the right and left atrium. So when it covers the right and left atrium, there the atrial systole, otherwise atrial depolarization happens. That is a representation of P wave. Okay, when there is a atrial depolarization, that is what the activation of atria. If here it comes the P wave, then it will be transferred to AV node, and from the AV node the impulses are transferred to bundle of His, and from bundle of His it will be moved to bundle branches, that is right bundle branch and left bundle branch, and reach the Purkinje fibers. When it reaches the Purkinje fibers, here it activation of the ventricles. That is the formation of QRS complex. That is QRS complex represents ventricular depolarization. And finally the recovery wave, that is the end of the ventricular systole, that is the, otherwise we say diastolic stage or the relaxation stage, that is the representation of the T wave. We know about what is PQRST. So first P wave, already I said P wave represents atrial depolarization. Atrial depolarization, otherwise it is atrial systole or atrial contraction. By the time the blood which is collected in right atrium and left atrium will be passed to the ventricles. And QRS complex. QRS complex represents ventricular depolarization, otherwise ventricular contraction or ventricular systole. During this stage, that is the blood collected in right ventricle and left ventricle will be pumped out to the, from the right ventricle it move to the, for the purification through the pulmonary arteries it will reach the lungs, as well as from the left ventricle through aorta it will be pumped out for the systemic circulation. Then T wave represents ventricular repolarization, or the stage of uh, relaxation or recovery wave. We can see each of the waves. First, PR interval. PR interval represents, that is P wave represents atrial depolarization. That is PR also, that is a stage of atrial depolarization plus delay in AV junction. So the delay allows time for the atria to contract before the ventricles contract. So normal PR interval is 0.12 second to 0.2 second. That is 3 to 5 small squares. The pacemaker of the heart. As already said, SA node, that is sinoatrial node, that is the natural pacemaker of the heart, that is dominant pacemaker with an intrinsic rate of 60 to 100 beats per minute. As you know, normally SA node generate the impulses. SA node generate 60 to 100 beats per minute. So usually when you see the normal heart rate of an adult, that is 60 to 100. So that is what, if the as we say the average heart rate, we used to say 72 beats per minute. Usually the normal heart rate is 72 beats per minute among adults, but you're supposed to think yes and no, there is a 60 to 100 beats is the normal heart rate. So if the SA node is functioning, then the person has the heart rate between 60 to 100. And second one is the AV node. AV node is known as backup pacemaker of heart with an intrinsic rate of 40 to 60 beats per minute. AV node, otherwise atrioventricular node. If as is known, backup pacemaker in the sense, if SA node is not functioning, AV node will take over the function. But AV node not have the uh, capability to generate the normal impulse as it is generated by the SA node. So AV node can generate only 40 to 60 beats per minute. So when there is a person appear with first degree heart block, and most often they have the have the heart rate less than 60. Next is the ventricular cells. Ventricular cells, that is backup pacemaker with an intrinsic rate of 20 to 45 beats per minute. As we learn in ECG, we should know what are the different types of leads. Usually we say there is a 12 lead ECG. What are the 12 leads, or which are the 12 leads? Here the leads are categorized into standard limb leads. That is, standard limb leads are 1, 2 and 3. So you can compare with this ECG paper. In the ECG paper, we used to see first, second and third. The Roman letter first, second and third, that is what the standard limb leads. Then second is category is the augmented unipolar limb leads. That is AVR, AVL and AVF. That is the lead which plays in the right arm, AVL is the left arm and AVF is the left foot or left leg. Then unipolar chest leads V1, V2, V3 and V4, V5, V6. So the leads are mainly categorized into three: standard limb leads, augmented unipolar limb leads and unipolar chest leads. So standard limb leads are from 1, 2 and 3. Augmented unipolar limb leads are 3, that is AVR, AVL and AVF, and unipolar chest leads 6, V1, V2, V3, V4, V5 and V6. Here we see the standard limb leads. The standard limb leads, which are obtained using a positive and negative electrode placed on the wrist of the right, left upper limbs and angle left lower limb. These standard limb leads are ones originally discovered by Einthoven. When combined, they form a triangle named after him. That is, this triangle is named as Einthoven's triangle. So as you know, the standard limb leads are lead 1. These are the standard limb leads, lead 1, lead 2 and lead 3. And the augmented leads are AVR, AVL and AVF. So in this, you know, there is the electrical connection between AVR and AVL. That is what the lead 1. Then AVR to AVF, that is lead 2, and AVL to AVF is lead 3. This picture you can see the augmented unipolar limb leads, that is AVR, that is a negative, the energy is negative and negative levels, and AVF both positive, and AVL positive and negative. So this is a triangle called Enthoven's triangle, that is the connection between this standard limb leads as well as the unipolar limb lead, there forms a triangle. So heart will be at the center of this triangle, that is called Enthoven's triangle. And another next is the unipolar chest leads. That is unipolar chest leads are 6 leads are there. That is V1, V2, V1, V2, V3, V4, V5 and V6. The unipolar chest leads exploring electrodes are placed over the various points on left side of the chest. One natural electrode is obtained by connecting all 3 limbs. These electrodes map the anterior and lateral aspects of the heart. Right-sided leads V3R and V4 or higher leads can also be recorded. Here we can see the placement of chest leads. So first chest lead, that is V1, it will be placed in the 4th intercostal space right to the sternum. Here you can note that V1 placed in the 4th intercostal space right to the sternum. V2 4th intercostal space left to the sternum, that is nearer to sternum. Then V3 will be placed mid position between V2 and V4, and V4 will be placed in the 5th intercostal space at a mid-clavicular line. This is a mid-clavicular line. It is placed in the 5th intercostal space in the mid-clavicular line, and V5 will be placed in the 5th intercostal space anterior axillary line, and V6 in the 5th intercostal space mid-axillary line. Then the Enthoven's triangle. Enthoven's triangle is formed by combination of the 3 leads. The heart is supposed to be situated at the center of this triangle. This triangle is separated into 3 lines and is converted to a hexaxial reference system for finding electrical axis of the heart. This is a picturization, that is we can see the axis, that is left axis, right axis, normal axis and extreme right axis in the sense. So here we can see all the axis deviations. So what is the axis, or whether it is any axis deviation is there in the ECG. Next, see what is ECG paper. As you know, in your healthcare professionals in their everyday life, they see ECG of different patients. So how they analyze the ECG paper, or otherwise how they read the paper. First, you should know about the ECG paper. So when you look after a ECG, this is a graph. There is a large boxes as well as the small boxes. When you take one large box, this large box is this is a highlight here. It has 25 small boxes. That is vertically and horizontally. Vertically 5 boxes and horizontally 5 boxes. So we supposed to see the horizontal aspect. What is denote? Horizontally, one large box is horizontal line represents, that is horizontal axis represents time in seconds, and the vertical axis represents the energy in milliwatt. So in a large square, there is a one horizontal line. Large square represents 0.2 seconds. That is one small square is 0.04 second. And one large square in the vertical axis, that is 5 mm, that is 5 mm in the sense half milli volt. This is what? One small box is 0.04 second and one large box is 0.2 second. And in vertically, one large box is 0.5 millivolt. Continue with that. In ECG paper, that which is every 3 seconds, in the sense as already said, one large box is 0.2 seconds. So 3 seconds it comes 15 large boxes, which is marked by a vertical line, which is helpful to calculate the heart rate. That is, with this strip we can calculate the heart rate for a 6 second long. Usually here is a formula is there. If the rhythm is irregular, we can calculate the heart rate. That is, heart rate will be calculated by number of R wave in 6 seconds multiplied by 10. That will be approximate heart rate of the particular person. Then rhythm analysis. In rhythm analysis, how could we analyze the rhythm? So step 1, calculate the rate. Step 2, determine the regularity. That is, which when we get a ECG paper, what are the things we are supposed to see? As a first aspect, we should calculate the heart rate. Second, determine the regularity of the rhythm. Third one, assess the P wave. As a fourth step, determine the PR interval. And step 5, determine QRS complex. So we see that how to calculate heart rate. To calculate the heart rate, different options are there. That is, if it is a rhythm is regular, means we have different option. If the rhythm is irregular, means different option. So as a option 1, that is, we take a 6 second strip. So count the number of R waves in 6 second rhythm and multiply by 10. So in this strip, we can get the heart rate is here 9 R waves are there. Well, multiply by 10, we get 90 beats per minute. And another step is option 2. We can find R wave that lands on the bold line. Count the number of large boxes between the R wave, 2 R waves. If the second R wave is in one, more easily I say, for this option we can use heart rate equal to 300 is constant, 300 divided by number of large boxes between RR interval. Okay, this is a simple one thing. That is, another option is to find the heart rate, count the number of large boxes between RR interval. Then applying this equation, that is 300 divided by number of large boxes between RR interval. So what we get, that is a heart rate of particular person. Otherwise, instead of 300, we can use 1500 divided by number of small boxes between RR interval. If we count, then small boxes means count number of small boxes and the numerator will be 1500. Then which value we get, that is the heart rate. So this is the continuity of the option 2, that is supposed to sequence. So as it's simple, that is put numerator as 300 and the denominator will be the number of large squares between RR interval. Otherwise, the numerator will be 1500 and the denominator will be number of small squares between RR interval. So this ECG paper, the interpretation is approximately one box less than, that is the, so the it comes 100. Then second step, and the ECG rhythm analysis. The second one is determine the regularity, whether the or waves or all complexes are in the equal interval. For that, we are supposed to look at the RR distance. Using a caliper or markings or on a pen or paper, we can find the RR distances to measure whether it is in the equal interval or the rhythm is regular or not. Regular in the sense, are they in the equal distance? In this ECG paper, this is a regular because here it shows all RR intervals seems same, so it is a regular rhythm. The next one is assess the P wave. Assess the P wave in the sense whether P wave presents before QRS complex. And do P waves all look alike? In the sense whether any dissimilarity or any irregularities are there or not, or supposed to be the same. Then do the P wave occur at a regular rate? And is there one P wave before each QRS complex? In this ECG, there is each P presents a normal P wave and one P presents before every QRS. Then step 4 is determine PR interval. Determine PR interval. The normal PR interval is 0.12 to 0.2 seconds. In the sense, 3 to 5 large small boxes. As you know, one small box is 0.04 second. So the normal PR interval is 0.12 to 0.2 seconds. So that is 3 to 5 small boxes. So we are supposed to determine how long it is taken for the PR interval. In this rhythm, that is 0.12 seconds. And step 5, QRS duration. Normal QRS duration is 0.04 to 0.12 seconds. That is 1 to 3 small boxes. In this ECG, here the QRS complex duration is 0.08 seconds. That is 2 small boxes. To summarize the rhythm, first find the rate of the heart rate. We can calculate, otherwise it will be analyzed in the paper itself. Sometimes it will be the machine itself record the heart rate. So for the better findings, we should analyze or the calculate as it is in the formula. Then regularity, whether it is a regular or not. In this step, it is regular. P wave, it is normal. And PR interval, it's supposed to be between 0.12 to 0.2 seconds. And QRS complex, that is duration, normally 0.04 to 0.12 seconds. And interpretation of this rhythm is, it is normal sinus rhythm. And the criteria of a normal sinus rhythm. The electrical impulse is formed in the SA node and conducted normally. How could identify it is the formed in SA node? In the sense, when the SA node is generating impulses, the rate will be between 60 to 100 and presence of P wave before every QRS complex comes that. Then look, is the normal rhythm of the heart or other rhythms? They do not conduct via a typical pathway called arrhythmias. We are supposed to look for that. Then see what is the parameters of normal sinus rhythm. Rate supposed to be between 60 to 100 beats per minute. Regularity, the rhythm should be regular. P wave should be normal, that is P wave should be presented before every QRS complex, and also it is a regular, otherwise identifiable one. Then PR interval should be between 0.12 to 0.2 seconds. QRS duration should be 0.04 to 0.12 seconds. Any deviation from above sinus above is, in the sense, any deviation, if the rate is higher means we say sinus tachycardia. If the rate is less than that, less than 60 means we say sinus bradycardia, or if there is a change in regularity or change in PV or PR interval, we say it is as arrhythmia. So I hope you understood about basic ECG. Basic ECG in the sense, what is electrocardiogram? Should know about the ECG paper. Should know the 12 leads. What are the 12 leads and which are the places we place the leads. Lead placement and different leads should be know, and you should know the rhythm analysis, otherwise ECG analysis. Also the normal sinus rhythm criteria. This is what the basics of ECG. The further section will be deal about abnormal, otherwise arrhythmia and other conduction abnormalities. You can subscribe as well as you can share this one. Thank you.